stream. We are back for the second half of our digital inclusion homework stream. We are doing some schoolwork, actually. Best homework assignment I've ever been given. I was told to play video games. We are going to be playing, I was given the task of picking a game from Games for Change, and we are playing Dot's Home, which is described as a single-player, 2D, narrative-driven video game that follows a young black woman in Detroit living in her grandmother's beloved home, as she travels through time to relive key moments in her family's history where race, place, and home collide in difficult choices. So, y'all are at all interested after watching this stream in playing the game. It is free over on Steam, so make sure you head that way. But for now, we're going to get started with our playthrough and see how the game holds up. Alright, just like our last game, it is a point and click, so I'm going to be using good old keyboard and mouse. Hello, Strawberry. Hello, Softcore. Got all my favorite people in the chat. Only person we're missing is Ghost Gerbs. Happy to have you guys here. Thanks for showing up. I do understand if any of you need to lurk, so do not worry about that. Just please don't mute the tab, because that does not count as a view. And if Strawberry or Lipton, if either of you are watching and you see what you would deem as a clippable moment, please make sure to do some clips. I am going back through previous streams and doing highlights so that we have some of those on the page, aside from just the full-length VODs. But any of you guys able to clip is greatly appreciated as well. Alright, let's go ahead and start our new game. I need to get home. Looks like the theater's still closed. Newspaper on the ground here. Let's see what we got. What's in store for the city's environmental future? Detroit is changing whether we like it or not. My neighborhood used to be dead quiet, with almost nothing going on. I swear it was like no one was here. But once businesses started coming back and folks started fixing up homes, my block came back to life, says Terrell Anderson, a longtime Detroit resident. Yet, while it's true that Anderson's neighborhood has seen a boost in new business, from upscale coffee shops to even the city's first tiki bar, this change hasn't been universal across the Motor City, particularly when it comes to enacting environmental justice for all. Daphne DeRocha, who lives northwest of Anderson's neighborhood, had this to say. I live in one of the most polluted areas of the city, right next door to one of the most gentrified. While others worry about where they'll get their morning coffee, I'm worried about if the air levels are too hazardous for me to go outside on my porch any given day. One thing all city residents need to realize, DeRocha argues, is that the city's industrialized backbone and lacking infrastructure hurts us all. What it most directly impacts depends on proximity, race, and place. There isn't one person in my family without asthma, DeRocha says. If I had known that fate was predetermined for us, I would have never lived here. Are you kidding me? I swear I left this door unlocked. Jeez, Grandma, can't keep a door open for nothing around here. Now I gotta find the right key. Grandma, why'd you lock the door? I was only gone for a minute. It's not even dark yet. Dorothea, now you know an unlocked door is an open invitation to trouble. I've lived here long enough to know the neighborhood's changing. Whatever you say, Grandma. Wonder what these papers are for. Speaking of changes, I keep seeing those cash for keys flyers everywhere on the block. You're telling me some of them even have to have the nerve to call me. For everyone I block, 3 more replace them. Do you ever think about selling the house? Sometimes. But where else would I go? Somewhere whose streets I don't know? I've started over too many times in my life, and I'm too old to do it again. I thought old was a cuss word. Only if it comes from you. Right. Y'all millennials. Millennials, Grandma. Millennial whatevers have no idea what we went through back in the day. Oh, we got our first flashback sequence, I guess. Before we came up here from South Carolina, your grandfather and I were sharecroppers. We busted our backs on a farm every day while the white folk who owned the land charged us more for rent than they paid us for our crops. We may not have been slaves, but if you ask me, it wasn't too much different. That's why when Carl got a letter from his cousin Eustace up here about some good-paying work at the auto factory, we packed our bags, paid our debts, got a one-way bus ticket to Detroit, and never looked back. I would track auto factory in Detroit. I would track. I swear you tell me this story about once a week. That's because I need to remind you where you come from. I wouldn't have it any other way, Grandma. Wait, is Carlos here right now? Mm-hmm. Georgia dropped him off when you were out at the corner store. How about you go get him and bring him upstairs? Dinner's about ready. Fine, but when he gets mad at me for interrupting his Supreme Bash Bros battle, I'm battling you. Blaming you. You talk like I know what any of those words mean. Supreme Bash Bros. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a master class in avoiding copyright infringement. Yo, Squirt. 5 more minutes! Nope. Grandma wants you upstairs now. Plus, you know how this place upsets your asthma. If you were a cool aunt, you'd let me stay down here a few more minutes. Too bad for you. I'm your only aunt, which automatically makes me the cool aunt. You're no fun, Auntie Doretha. Nope, none of that. To you and everyone else, it's Dot. D-O-T. Period. Well, Grandma calls you by your full name. Yeah, because when have I been able to stop Grandma from doing anything? Now come on. Please, Dot, just a few more minutes. Alright, chat, first decision of the game. Fine, but the countdown starts now, or no way, I'm starving. Softcore's voting for fine. I'm cool with being the cool aunt. We'll go ahead and go with fine. Fine, but the countdown starts now. Grandma keeps important documents in here. I'm not allowed in. Head upstairs, see what's up here. Apparently we got a leak. Wow, the ceiling's leaking again. Yes, this is our room. I mean, that's kind of cool. It's interactive to the extent that we literally can click on things and get them to start or stop. That's kind of cool. None of the other doors give us anything. And that just says, wow, the ceiling's leaking again. Okay. Back downstairs we go. Okay, time's up. But it hasn't been 5 minutes yet. Tough beans, bud. Let's go. There are achievements for this game. I wonder if we had actually given him 5 minutes if there was something. Smells like Grandma's world-famous mac and cheese is in here. Don't touch it. It's cooling down right now. Cooling down? You mean we gotta wait before we can even eat? I could have finished my game! Why you want to hang out in the only place where mold grows on the walls is beyond me. The rest of the house is for you and Grandma. The basement is a place that's just for me. Lord, I guess they aren't kidding when they say history repeats itself. You sound like Hank back when he moved out in '86. I'm pretty sure a flair for dramatics is a family trait. Someone's at the door. You expecting anyone, Grandma? Heck no, not without a call first. Maybe it's that person Dot's been secretly texting all month. Shut it, you! Whoever it is, I know they better stop banging on my darn door. Don't worry, I'll get it. Oh, okay. I guess we can click the ground to move forward. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Who are you? Who said you could just walk in? Ah, hello, miss. Sorry about the sudden intrusion, but I always say an open door is an open invitation for new opportunities. That's a terrible saying. Maybe, but more importantly, are you Mavis Hawkins, the owner of this lovely home? No. That would be my grandmother, but you can talk to me. I see. Well, my name's Michael H. Murphy III, and I represent a company called Hope Equity. We're investing heavily in bringing back this neighborhood, and we're willing to give you straight cash for the keys to this. Let me save you some time. I've seen the flyers, and we're not interested. But this is a golden opportunity! We're paying above fair market value for distressed homes and revitalizing. Do we look distressed to you? How can you bring back a neighborhood that never went anywhere? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to offend. Miss Hawkins, if you let me explain, I'm sure your grandmother will come to understand. You meant what you said, and so did I. We're not interested. Bye. Slam the door in Murphy's face. Good riddance. Can you believe that dude? Walking up on us like that. He's lucky I didn't. You think it's true what he said? That they're paying more than it's worth and in cash? Don't tell me you're actually considering this. I'm just thinking. We could really use that money. I'm not getting any younger, and these bills only seem to grow every year. Fixing that water leak from last year almost put me out of my own savings. Thought you said you couldn't bear to start over again. Between Hank down in Florida and your sister Georgia, I'm sure I could find a place close to home. I thought this was home. I'm going upstairs. You okay? I bet Grandma's mac and cheese will cheer you up. This conversation made me lose my appetite. Y'all can go on ahead without me. It's Grandma's world-famous mac and cheese. Smells great. I acquired a new item. And Lipton, I see your message. I'll see if it's a possibility on our way back. Photos on the fridge. We get it. You traded pine trees for palm trees, Mom and Dad. A postcard from Florida. I swear, Mom and Dad send one every year. I should plan a trip to visit them at some point. Can't believe it's been 3 years since Mom and Dad moved to the Sunshine State. Guess I should have taken Mom at her word when she said this was their last winter here. I think Carlos added this one when he was little. Well, littler. Georgia and Alma always point it out whenever they stop by. Great, now I'm craving mall pretzels. My undergrad graduation. I definitely heard Grandma's cheers the loudest in that stadium. I know the whole education department was shook. Go Warriors! Grandma loves these type of inspirational quotes. I think they're kind of cheesy, but for some reason, I don't mind this one as much. Well, you make a valid point though. Let's see if we can lock the door. Nope, we can just exit. I said I was going upstairs, so I guess I'm going upstairs. Property taxes, repair fees, electrical bills. I get that we need the money to pay the bills, but do we really have to give up the house to get it? But if we stay, does this mean we just have to keep struggling forever? Jeez, I'm giving myself a headache. Maybe if I take a nap, I'll wake up with a clearer head. An open door is an invitation. I want a place that's just for me. New opportunities. Because when have I ever been able to stop Grandma from doing anything? That was some nap. At least my headache's gone. My door is locked from the outside? Maybe one of my keys will open it. Wait a minute, why is this key glowing? Does it want me to use it on this door? Well, here goes nothing. I've been blinded by the past. Magic hallway. Visit the magic hallway for the first time. Is it the door to the Twilight Zone? What the? Just how long was I asleep for? And who redecorated this place? Minimalism is so not Grandma's style. No! I must have missed you coming in. You again? I don't believe we met. You're here for the open house, yes? How do you like the upstairs so far? Open house? What are you even talking about? A 3-bedroom, 2-bath wonder. Great amount of space for a family if you and your husband are looking to start. Is he here with you? I'd be happy to chat with him man to man about the details. You must be confused. This house isn't open. It certainly is, miss. Why don't you continue to look around? Better be quick with your decision, though. You're not the only one looking. I need to find Grandma and find out what the heck is going on. This door is closed. This vase is barely covering that crack in the wall. Do you think we're making the right decision, Carl? What if things here are just as bad as they were at the farm? Even if things get bad up here, I don't think they can get much worse than what we left in Effingham. Wait, why are those voices so familiar? Wait a minute. Grandma? Grandpa? Huh? Grandma, I ain't nobody's grandma. Okay, I've seen this happen in the movies. Just gotta play it cool.
Don't tell me you have your eye on this place, too.
No. This home is yours. I live in the neighborhood and just decided to pop in. Oh, a neighbor! Well, it's nice to meet you, Miss Dot. Short for Dorothea. My grandmother named me. What a beautiful name. Your grandmother has good taste.
Name's Carl Hawkins. And this here's my wife, Mavis Hawkins.
Since you're from the neighborhood, can you tell us what it's like here, Dorothea? Well, things are a bit different now, but we always look out for each other out here. I know everyone's name on the block and can count on them to have my back when I need it.
Well, I'll take that as just the answer I needed.
Me too. Sounds like the perfect place for us to settle down.
Hopefully, this Murphy fellow will stick to his word. This is the first house we've looked at all week that hasn't turned us away just for being colored. I assure you that I'm happy to work with your people, Mr. Hawkins. Why, I was just telling the young lady over here that it's a perfect home to start a family.
I thought you said you were just...
Sorry, messing up my character. I thought you said you were just passing through.
They're essentially the same answer, but which should we go with, chat? I swear I'm not interested in this place. No way! This house seems perfect for both of you! Lipton votes no way. And so does Softcore. Alright, it's unanimous. No way! This house seems perfect for both of you!
What a shame. Miss Hawkins, why don't you think about all the delicious meals you could cook in this fabulous kitchen? While your husband and I talk business in the living room.
But any business of my husband's is mine too. Go, Grandma.
She's right. We'll hear what you have to say together. If you insist.
I should go. Thank you for your help, Dorothea. We can talk more later.
I think you should go for that. Please let us discuss business in private. Did you say you're employed at the auto factory?
No, sir, not yet. I'll be going down there tomorrow to see about the job.
There's always a catch when dealing with you people. Lucky for you, this is a Negro neighborhood on the rise. I can make it easy for you to buy your dream home with a contractor for deed where you just make monthly payments. I'd make a decision quick if I were you.
I'm gonna lose my mind if I hear another word. I need some air. I'm gonna take a walk and see how to get out of here. Oh, let's see what the newspaper says for today, shall we?
Your neighborhood could be next.
Every house marked X, now occupied by I realize this is going to be a word that is going to come up frequently in this game, and I lack the complexion to feel comfortable saying it. So much like the Native American words that I was, unable to pronounce in the last game, we're just going to leave dead air when it comes up to that word. I'm broad-minded, said one homeowner when moved into his block, but a short time later he panicked and sold his home at a loss. In today's post, you'll read how speculators for racial change. Unless it's supposed to be the word look, I'm a little confused, but how speculators look for racial change, how they use vicious tactics to force out the whites, and how one speculator brags that he could bust your block in no time at all. We talked to one local Detroit blockbuster about the price of integration, and how he has no plans of stopping.
I make my money, quite a lot of it. Incidentally, 3 ways. 1. Beating down the prices I pay the white owners by stimulating their fear of what is to come. 2. By selling to the eager at flat rate prices, inflated prices rather. And 3. By financing these purchases at what amounts to a very high rate of interest. Despite this, the blockbuster, who wished to remain anonymous but provided his initials MM, said his plan of playing too close to the color line is actually a benefit to the whites, not the moving in.
Said to take a walk, so I guess we'll take a walk. Wow, this is one heck of a dream. Who knew I could dream up something so detailed? And historically accurate. Theater's still open.
Miss!
Oh, it's you.
You had me chasing you for nearly 2 blocks! If I was you, I wouldn't go any further. The neighborhood beyond this point is not for your kind. How about you come back with me to the open house? Wouldn't want you to get into trouble now, okay?
I can find my own way back.
Please, I insist.
No, I insist.
Maybe. I want to trust him, but this just sounds like a raw deal we had with old man Macon on his farm back home.
I know money's tight, but I could do my sewing on the side to help out. We could really make this home ours, even if we just have to make things work. Yo.
Anyone ever tell you that you're one weird gal?
I'm starting to think so myself. Any luck with the decision? We want the house, but that Murphy fella is just making us choose between a contract for deed or renting the place.
Well,
What's the difference?
the way he tells it, we'd just be responsible for making regular payments on the house until the balance is paid off.
And once that balance is paid off, the house is ours, free and clear.
Only thing is, if we miss a payment, then we're back to square one, and we could lose the house. Never mind the fact that it could take us between 5 and 50 years to pay the house off in the first place. I just wish we could get a loan, as if the bank would ever even let us in the door. Maybe we should find a place to rent nearby until money isn't so tight.
I'm tired of renting, Carl. We need to put down roots. This is the only place that'll even take our money, and y'all heard what the man said. If we don't take it now, we'll lose our chance. Plus, there are other families like us on the block. We won't be alone here. Dorothea, what do you think we should do?
Better make it quick, time's a ticking!
I'm certain you two could make a great home here. I'm inclined to go with buy because it seems like that was the decision that was made in the future that we are coming from, considering he's trying to get her to sell him the house. Lipton's with me on buy. Softcore, are you feeling the same way? Alright, we buying. Choice will be remembered. But it's not like you can go back to North Carolina. You should buy this place now because it's the best you can do at the moment, even though the terms do seem tricky. I think you're right. Like I said before, I don't know why, but I trust you. Well, I don't, but I trust my Mavie, so I'll go with what you say.
Wonderful! Mr. Hawkins, if you follow me, I have some paperwork for you to sign.
I hope it works out for you both, Grant, Miss Mavis. I know we're about to be neighbors, but I swear you already seem like family. Would you look at that? I seem to have misplaced my pocketbook. Let me go look around and see if I can find it. Carl is right, you are one weird gal. Maybe I can use this weird key again. Here's hoping I'm not as out of place this time. For a free game, you know, it's great. They're giving me laser eye surgery while I'm at it. That has to be a dream. I should sleep again. Great, even more bills. It's no use. I can't fall asleep. Things still feel weird. Maybe if I just go about my day, things will go back to normal. It's locked again? I guess I'll use that glowing key. Well, here goes nothing. Well, this place is different. Could use some fresh paint and maybe a... Wait, is that a mouse? What's the paper say now?
Urban renewal or urban removal?
The development of public housing in Detroit could displace thousands. The Brewer-Davidson housing projects were first dedicated in 1935 and finally completed in 1955. Originally built to house almost 10,000 residents across 6 14-story high-rises, 2 6-story low-rise towers, and several apartment rows, despite the city's consistent decline in population, the projects are still home to some 6,500 remaining residents. Most of them black, and 66% of them minors or young adults, and they are all at risk of losing their homes as the city plans to demolish the area to make way for a new community of family-sized townhouses. The messaging from the mayor's office has remained relatively steadfast against the backlash from current residents. This new community is not about exclusion, it's not about kicking everybody out, says one representative from the mayor's office, yet despite showing several... says one representative from the mayor's office. Yet, despite showing several illustrative renderings of the future of the neighborhood, townhomes and a condo building along a tree-lined street, the Brewer-Davidson residents remain unconvinced. "We can't afford that!" yelled one resident attending last month's city council meeting. "I'm sick of oppression and moving black people out of these communities." It's true. Gotta love gentrification. Final notice of eviction. Looks like somebody's getting evicted. Why can't I ever find my wallet? I don't know how you find anything with your head so firmly planted up your behind. Why do you want to see a movie about a serial killer in a project anyway? We live in a project! Yes, we do! And we can leave it too! Someone tell me why I married the most stubborn woman in Michigan. Someone's got to be realistic around here while you walk around with your head in the clouds. I know those voices. They sound like... Thank goodness. Are you the babysitter? Mom? I mean, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I mean, ma'am. Sorry, I think you have me mistaken with someone else. So hear me out. I'm thinking the first one, but I worry because, like, if this is time travel, like, that means we're gonna be babysitting our younger self, and that could, you know, cause bootstrap paradoxes, and next thing you know, we could wind up back in the future and there could be dinosaurs. All right, Lipton's voting for yes, ma'am. Oh, Shenron, shut your face. Lipton, you're fine. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. All right, we're going with yes. I mean, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Great! Long story short, I'm Evelyn. This is my husband, Hank, and we're running very late for our movie.
Relax, we're not that late.
We did not just fight for an hour for you to tell me to relax.
It's not for no reason. Me and Amos have really good idea this time.
You know what I think is a good idea? Taking the voucher they're offering us and renting a house that's close to a movie theater. I'm tired of driving out to Farmington Hills every time we want to see a movie.
Ev, what good's a house without a community?
That's not a home. Jeez, I gotta take a walk. That man is driving me crazy. Please come inside. Are you alright? We've been fighting about this since we got the notice that they're turning these apartments into townhomes. They're supposed to be for the people who live here, but we all know how that goes. He wants to say, I want to move on to something better. Simple as that. I always thought living in public...
Hello there. I'm Derek from the future.
You can tell because the lighting is different. Sorry about this, but there's a small bit of clipping between our playthrough of Dot's Home. Apparently the server for Twitch went down, so we got a little bit of a gap. So you'll notice a bit of clipping between the last clip that you were just watching and the clip that you're about to see as soon as we get back to it. So, again, thank you for watching, and welcome back to our gameplay, already in progress. I'm with you. What's there to love about this place? There must be something keeping Frank here. Either way, we can get an answer about what the, Either way, I'm with... We can get an answer as to what's special about this place. I'm kind of inclined to agree with Dad and say that there must be something keeping Hank here, but what are we thinking? No! Well, at least you're still in chat, Lipton. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and side with Dad and say, oh. Twitch died, period, so none of you guys can see me right now? Can you hear me? Okay, so Lipton, you can see in here. But Strawberry can't. I'm wondering, because I realized my VOD from the last one got broken up into 3 parts. And is definitely missing a small chunk of time between parts 1 and part 2. Or part 2 and part 3. I can't quite tell. But it's definitely missing a small chunk of time, so I'm wondering if something happened with the servers. Because what I'm seeing in Streamlabs, it is clearly showing I am still live and timer is ticking away, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a decision. I'm gonna say that there must be something keeping Hank here. I mean, sure, we know all our neighbors and we all look out for each other, but we could find that somewhere else. Hank doesn't seem to find it that way. His best friend Amos lives down the hall. Those two are always dreaming up new business schemes, and this time, Hank swears it's legit. I want to be supportive, but I don't want to be stuck here. If we move out, we're giving our daughter Georgia better opportunities. Wow, I wouldn't expect you to be this stressed out. You seem like a super calm under pressure type of person. At least that's my experience. You psychic or something? If I freak out, Hank freaks out. You see why I want to go to some silly horror movie so bad? I guess you need the escape. Exactly. Hey, do you mind grabbing Hank from Amos's place? I need to calm down and maybe find this man's wallet for him. This is Georgia as a baby? Weird. Well, let's go get Dad from his best friend's house, I guess. Softcore strategy, if you're still here with us, is it still going for you, or did your Twitch glitch as well? Oh. If I look at my mobile dashboard, it says duration of only 4 minutes. That means that it definitely glitched out. Man, this demolition stuff is bugging me out. What's the government calling it? Hope 6? I don't feel a lot of hope about them knocking down our homes. I feel that. But keep your eyes on the prize. We finally got a winning game plan. Yeah, that's Dad. Knock, knock. I mean, if you're really sure we could get jobs working construction here while they build those fancy townhouses. Yeah, dude, it's the law and everything. I was looking at those flyers that say that the crews working here get to hire people from the building. It's called Section 3. I wonder why that is, because like I said, it did it to my last stream as well, and I thought maybe it was that it was running too long, but I also caught myself on that because my South Park streams ran longer, and not longer, but they ran 2 hours with no break, so. Can they not hear me? Better knock again. Knock, knock! I don't care how many sections they got. We both know those big real estate and construction companies break the law all the time and get away with it. Honestly, it's worth a shot for me. We need the money to start our business. Besides, being a construction worker smells way better than sanitation. Guess I'll knock louder. You hear that? Who's that? Oh, right, the babysitter. Come in for a sec. What's your name? Dorothea. Or just Dot. Huh, that's cute. Amos, this is Dot. Come in for a second. I swear I put my wallet down here somewhere. Sorry to interrupt. Evelyn, Miss Hawkins wanted me to come by and let you know she's ready to go. Can she wait a few more minutes? My boy Amos and I were just in the middle of a conversation. Okay, get this. You see how me and Hank, we got a natural rapport. I'm the funny guy, he's the straight man, the Abbott to my Costello. Who's Abbott and Costello? Abbott and Costello? As in, who's on first? You know what, never mind. What I'm saying is that when we're on third shift, the drive to work is funny as hell because me and Hank just riff off each other, laughing our heads off about anything and everything. When we're on first shift though, we're silent as a dormouse, listening to the morning news, but wishing we could hear folks like us just talking and having fun, even during the 6 a.m. shift. So get this, what if we recorded our banter and sold cassettes of it? People working night shifts could have their morning show to listen to. And don't get me started on advertising opportunities. We could read ads for local businesses. I can't believe you invented the podcast. Pod what? Nothing, man. Just know you're truly ahead of your time. I knew it was a great idea. And once we get hired working construction, we'll have the money to record in a studio, all professional. We can list HUD as a sponsor. What's HUD? Department of Housing and Urban Development. They're the ones who decided to knock the building down to revitalize it. I know what they could also help revitalize, my bank account. Well, good luck with all that. Mr. Hawkins, I think we should probably get back to your place. I guess you're right, Miss Dot. See you on the flip side, Amos. Smell you later, Hank. And I mean that literally, because we got third shift tomorrow. Hey, little lady. Don't you got a baby to sit? I don't want to sit on a baby. Is it really so important you stay here? Listen, I know it's not everyone's American dream house. We all do our best to organize, keep it clean, do all the work that management doesn't. It's still a project. It's just... I've been here a long time. And I know everybody. I feel like if I leave, I'm saying all the time I spent here doesn't mean a thing. It's like, who said we can only find opportunity by leaving our people behind? Am I really just supposed to turn my back on Amos? Just like, got mine, see ya. I'm sure he'd understand. Yeah, maybe he'd understand, but I don't want to lose that connection. My dad always told me that the hardest choices take sacrifice. Your dad's right. I just don't think it's worth sacrificing a community. I mean, let me ask you, what does a nice neighborhood even look like? Somewhere where you and your kids can grow without worry? A street where everyone knows your name? A neighborhood where you shop at the supermarket without being stared at? Asking the real hard-hitting questions here, chat. Somewhere where you and your kids can grow without worry is what I'm leaning toward, but... Alright, Lipton, you're feeling the same way? Option number 1? Somewhere where you and your kids can grow without worry? For me, it's one where people take care of each other. We're already doing that here. That got even more important to me after we had Georgia. I know why Eve wants to move Ev, Evelyn. I know why Ev wants to move where schools are better, but I don't want my child to be lonely. Don't worry too much about Georgia. I have a feeling she won't be lonely for long. You know something I don't, Miss Dot? Not a thing, Mr. Hawkins. Speaking of home, I should get back. Still haven't found my wallet. Can you believe he still can't find his wallet? Have you seen my wallet? Thank you. Where was it? It was in your pocket. You dropped it on the ground. Why am I not surprised? Listen, I know we dragged you into this whole mess, Miss Babysitter, but I think we should stay in tonight, maybe. We clearly have a lot to talk about. So, no $10? You still want it? How about this then? Who's right? Should we take the voucher and move? Or stay here with our friends and neighbors? Ooh, this one's a little bit tougher. This one is a little bit tougher. We had a general idea of what the future was when it came to Grams, because the whole thing is they were trying to buy the house from her, but we don't know what happened with our parents other than they eventually moved to Florida. But obviously it was after I was born, so it's not right now. Stay or move? I'll let you guys pick on this one, chat. Happy wife, happy life, moving on up. I mean, I can get that sentiment. I also am of the mindset of happy spouse, happy house, though, so it's tough to say. But I am a streamer that is interactive with his chat, so I guess we will go ahead and say we're tell them that they should move. Unless, I mean, I know Strawberry's lurking, so I don't necessarily expect a response from her. Softcore, you still here? Choice will be remembered. Why not see what kinds of stuff you can make happen if you move? I like the way you think. I guess maybe our golden ticket is still out there. Thank you so much for all your help. I hope you can actually babysit little Georgia sometime. She is a real handful, and stubborn too. She's a baby. Oh, right. Anyway, I'll see you around. Just know you're both doing a great job at the whole parenting thing. Anyone ever call you precocious? Yeah, my mom does. All the time. Maybe I can use this weird key again. Here's hoping I'm not as out of place this time. Let me throw on my sunglasses, hold on. Jiminy Christmas, man. I'm not even gonna bother sleeping this time. When did I dig out my lacrosse MVP trophy? Ugh. I still remember Phoebe, Rachel, and Monica making fun of my hair. Strawberry, I know you're lurking, but if you can hear, you'll get a laugh. Yeah, Lipton, they do sound familiar. Almost friendly, don't you think? They almost sound like they'd be there for you when the rain starts to pour. Just make sure you pivot. Oh, I should have clicked one further. Whenever I run into them at the coffee shop, they never say hi. Why am I not surprised? Third time's a charm! Fourth time being blinded. Fifth time being blinded. And there's your sixth. I guess actually that'd be 8th time. Yeah. A storage closet. I can't even tell where I am this time. I wonder if I'm in my own time or still floating around in my family's history. The Interfaith Center. It looks different than normal. Between me and Rafi, we worked so many hours, I'm afraid that Zizi will forget the face of her parents. And all this work, it might be for nothing if we can't find a place to live. Has Rafi said anything about the house hunt? Any places in the area give you a reply? A few places, but they never give a clear answer. Always something about not being a right fit for the neighborhood, or trying to preserve the character of the area. I'm losing hope. It's the same garbage they told my mother when we moved here years ago. The community center helped us then, and we'll do whatever we can to help you. No matter where we're from, we immigrants gotta stick together. Thank you, Alma, for your graces. I know we should stay humble, but it's hard on our pride sometimes. Rafi's especially. He dreamed of coming here and building a home with his own hands. But we've done nothing but rely on others since we arrived. A community is only as strong as the people in it. And if we don't keep good people like your family and ours, we aren't much of a community at all. That looks like my sister George's wife, Alma. Are you lost? Alma told me to play with the other kids, but they left already. So I'm waiting until Baba comes to pick us up. Baba? Appa! Daddy! Don't tell me you're this old and you don't even know that. Sheesh! You're waiting for your parents? Alma's talking about boring adult stuff with Miss Alma, and Baba said he would come pick us up after work. I wish they'd hurry up. Well, I'm sure they wouldn't make you wait if it wasn't important. Maybe, but every time I ask questions, they tell me I wouldn't understand. Baba never has time to tell me stories anymore either. He used to tell me funny stories about all the things he did with his brothers in Iraq. Your dad's from Iraq? Yeah, I saw the news people talking about it the other day and told him about it, but he just made a funny face and didn't say anything. Sorry, Zizi. The situation in your dad's country is kind of complicated. More adult stuff? Yeah, more adult stuff. Dot! I thought you were too busy with college applications to step foot here. Wait, Alma recognizes me? And what's this about college applications? Are you telling me I can still pass as a teenager? Mission Control to Space Cadet Dot. You still there? I just thought I'd swing by. Having to boil my whole life down to a personal statement was giving me a headache. Well, while you're here, why don't you help out? You're not too busy to help your dear sister-in-law this time, right? I guess since I'm already here. That's the spirit. Let's go. I need you to organize these pamphlets for the event. Lay out the set you think is best and throw the rest in the recycling. Talk to me when you're done. Are you Dorothea? Alma has told me so much about you. I'm Esperanza. Nice to meet you. It's Dot, by the way. Are you new to the area? Our family plans to make a home here. At least we're hoping we can. Sounded like you need a place to stay? Right now we're staying with my sister, Alejandria. When she bought her house, Alejandria was so excited that she convinced us to come here too for the opportunities. But there was so much fine print that the seller didn't tell her, and now she can't afford the payments. She has to move to a smaller place, so we have to find our own place soon. Jeez, that's rough. Rafi's been looking for permanent work ever since we moved here, but they take one look at his name and never give him an interview. I've even had a harder time getting work since I took his last name. Well, I hope things go your way. Welcome to the neighborhood. Thank you, Dot. I hope I'll see you around again. I know it's technically a decision, but I'm just picking for us. I don't think we want the hope equity stuff, do we, chat? Alright, sticking with the potluck then. The table doesn't look right yet. We want one set of pamphlets spread out on the table and the other in the recycling. Oh, I gotta put them in the recycling.
My bad.
The table looks great, thank you. Hey, we're getting ready for our usual Sunday potluck, and George is at your grandmother's house getting all the dishes together. Meet me outside and we can walk there together. Hey, Dot. Thanks again for helping at the community center. Now let's go to your grandma's and help with empanadas. We're 40 plus years in business, and we need your help. Now showing Karate Kid. Yes, it's the remake. The theater is still open. How can one property change hands so many times in a decade and keep turning a profit?
Truly a miraculous piece of land.
Hey, Mr. Murphy, what brings you to the neighborhood?
Oh, please, Alma, it's Michael. I was just admiring what I hope will be our future purchase. There's something deeply satisfying about an empty home, don't you think? Full of potential, ready to be made into a buyer's image. scrubbed of the past? By the way, have you talked to Georgia about finalizing the sale?
She's thinking about it. You don't make decisions like that lightly.
Oh, of course, of course. She's always been shrewd with business finances, that one. I have faith that she'll make yet another smart decision and accept our generous offer. Just tell her to remember that the window of opportunity won't stay open forever.
I'll be sure to tell her that.
Much appreciated. As always, we at Hope Equity are here to make your real estate dreams come true.
Hope Equity? Those real estate pests with the annoying commercial? You're advertising all over the place, but what exactly is it that you do? I really don't like this guy, so I'm totally cool with saying the real estate pests with the annoying commercials. Lipton's going with option 2. You're advertising all over the place, but what exactly is it that you do?
Hope Private Equity. We make dreams come true by financing them. We invest in prime properties in neglected neighborhoods like this one.
You mean you trick people into buying homes they can't afford, then eventually kick them out and jack up the prices?
I prefer to think of it as putting our resources to good use in underserved communities. Like my grandfather before me, I'm helping revitalize the neighborhood by putting good people in good homes. In fact, way back when I worked at the bank, I helped the family purchase this original property.
That doesn't seem to have worked out too well for them.
Yeah, it's too bad. But everyone deserves a chance at the American dream, don't you think? And now another family has that opportunity.
I hope you do a better job of making that happen for this family than you did the last one. I don't think anyone I know considers that the American dream. I mean, if we're gonna poop all over him, I feel like it's option 1 on this one. But then again, option 2 is also accurate. I don't know of anyone that would consider that the American dream. What are we thinking, chat? Option 2? I don't think anyone I know considers that the American dream. No worries, Lipton.
We're all entitled to our opinion. Anyway, be sure to get an answer from Georgia. Like I said, the clock is ticking.
Investors cash in on Detroit's housing slump. Investors from as far away as Hong Kong and Hawaii are coming to Detroit to make their fortune buying foreclosed homes in bulk. This is a millionaire's market, said Michael Murphy III, an investor from the local suburbs who recently moved back to the Great Lakes state last year.
I feel like I'm driving through the city and stopping to shovel diamonds in the back of my truck.
Following in the footsteps of his father's legacy as a local real estate investor, Murphy scours the city for houses they can fix and rent. The idea is to generate cash flow until the market improves, and then to sell the houses. He owns 38 houses now and will close on 15 more before the end of the month. Still, it's not just established buyers looking to turn a profit amidst the city's wave of foreclosures. I can buy a home for pennies, flip it into something livable, and then sell it for hundreds of thousands, says Joanna Wright, a 42-year-old mother from Ann Arbor who flips homes in Detroit with her husband. Yes, we were hit hard by the recession just like everyone else. We lost almost everything. At least this way, with the money we're making from flipping homes, I can make sure we're never in that position again. Hey, Dottie! It's been a minute, baby sister. How's life with Grandma as a roommate? Pretty chill and quiet. Grandma isn't really the chit-chatting type. Georgia, why are you out here? Aren't you on empanada duty? They're just cooling down, no worries. I've got some exciting news that I couldn't wait to share. I talked to the real estate people and we're finally gonna sell that house. You seem more excited about selling this empty house than you were when you bought yours. You ever think about the people who lived in this house? Or do you just like to collect the check? Oof. Do I start a pissing match with my sister, or do I go with the first one? First one, granted, could technically start a pissing match as well, but... seem more... Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You seem more excited about selling this empty house than you were when you bought yours. Always with the smart mouth, this one. I've been sitting on that house since the auction, and it's time to sell. The foreclosure auction, you mean? If we play it right, we could get twice or even triple the price I paid for it. So you've made up your mind to sell to Mr. Murphy? Michael's lined up an out-of-state buyer who's willing to pick this up right away. It finally feels like the hard work getting this place fixed up has paid off. Our family's gonna be one step closer to everything we dreamed about. What's with the silence? If we sell this house, no kid of ours would ever have to worry about going to college. I get it, Georgia, I really do, but... I can't feel good about selling a piece of our block to some outside rich person who will do who knows what with it. Not when there are people in need right here. If we want to start our own family, we gotta think about ourselves here, Alma. But we can help the people right in front of us, in our community. Alma did say that you clearly have someone in mind. I've been talking to the Tofik family at the community center. They're good people. They have a bright young daughter with a promising future. Everyone else is turning them away. You want us to give up our dream to help some people we barely know? Georgia, that's not... They're immigrants. First generation trying to make it, the same as my family was. They have no roots here. And nobody wants to take a chance on them. It's always like that. They're good people who deserve a chance like my family got. Let them rent the place. Give them a home. Your family made it here because they worked hard. This family can do the same. It's not our job to make that happen for them. This home, the money I've put into it, it's the fruit of generations of labor. My grandmother's, my mother's, and mine. If we blow this chance, we don't get a new one. Isn't our responsibility to give back to the community that made us? My family didn't do this on our own. We came up with the support of everyone around us. We need to give that support to others now. I think that... Oh, you think... You know what, little sister? Do you have some secret ancestral knowledge on this situation or something? Please do share your wisdom. I didn't mean to. It's just that... No, if you're gonna speak up, then speak up. Chat, I think we all know where my heart's at on this one. You need to help the Tofik family. A home is made of more than one family or one house. And we need to let people like them know they're welcome and looked after if we want to keep this neighborhood one worth living in. Glad to see the value of compassion's not lost on you, Dot. I think I'm gonna get me one of those empanadas. It seems like you two need a moment to yourselves anyway. Alright, feel free to clean up some of the dishes while you're at it. Always ordering me around, I swear. Let's see if this key can get me back to the future. I mean, present. One more blinding light. I guess 2 more technically because I gotta walk through the hallway. Why is it that every time I come back, I'm not sure if I help them make the right decision? Wait, the key stopped glowing? Am I back home? For good? Well, nothing else in the room changed after that. Dorothea? What are you doing downstairs already? I thought you were sleeping. I wish. Well, there's still some mac and cheese if you want to reheat some. Ah! That sound. Was that Carlos? Did he go back into the basement? Guess that boy just won't stop going down there, even if it kills him. I should go check on him. Carlos, what happened? And what is that awful smell? What are you doing down here? I thought I told you not to. Everything's ruined. I couldn't save any of my games. Forget about the games. Come on, we need to get you upstairs and get your inhaler. I don't want to go upstairs. I don't even want to be here. How you can even stay in this house? Something's always falling apart every other week. Carlos, we can talk about this upstairs. Let's go. Grandma should just buy a new house. Mom does it all the time. Why can't Grandma? She could buy a house where I could breathe. Carlos, I hear you. I really do. But we have to get out of here right now. Come upstairs and we'll talk about it. This water doesn't bode well for the TV. What in God's grace has been happening here while I was gone? Carlos, are you okay? Yeah, Grandma. Just out of breath. I think a pipe burst or something while Carlos was in the basement playing his game. He was knee-deep in sewer water down there. Oh boy, I told you not to play down there. It's bad enough that we already live so close to the industrial plant and there's smog. You and I might have been able to get by, but all this is clearly affecting Carlos's asthma. With how old this house is, well, what are we gonna do? Just put a bandage on everything until something like this happens again? You know, your Grandpa Carl used to be the one to fix things up, Dorothea. It's been so difficult since he passed. Grandma, are you honestly okay with staying here? You deserve to live out your best life, and I don't want you to have to spend your years in a house that's falling apart. Do you know what we went through to get here? This house wasn't always our home. Y'all know the start, but not the hows and whys. Before me and Grandpa Carl left South Carolina, we only had enough to survive our present. But we wanted to build a foundation for our future, so we decided to move up here to Detroit. We walked into this house one day, and ended up buying this place. Had us thinking it was a good deal, but there's always finer and finer print. That good deal kept biting us, kept us from any plans we had to improve this old place. Too many friends had the bank take their homes, and I swear we spent too many nights worrying ours would be next. But we can't say we spent a single dollar toward anything but our family's future. So they really listened to my advice? Years passed, and we had Hank, and then Hank met Evelyn. Your mom always pushed Hank to be better and do better, which is why they left here to live in their own apartment. Even though we'd never admit it, your dad's ideas kept getting bigger and bigger so that he could make Evelyn's dreams come true. And what were Mom's dreams, but what did Dad want for himself? I think we know Mom's dreams from our interaction, but we didn't really get Dad's. We got what his plan was with Amos, but... I'm gonna say, what did Dad want for himself? But what did Dad want for himself? I never could read Hank. That boy always just wanted to create. And for his family to love what he had created. Evelyn convinced your dad the suburbs were the place to find opportunity and success. Can't deny that helped y'all come up razor sharp, but I missed you so much. It wasn't always easy making the trip up there to see you and your sister, but your parents never seemed happier. They made enough in their savings to buy that timeshare down in Florida before you'd even finished high school. So this wasn't all a dream. I really went back to the past. No matter how it turned out, your parents gave y'all everything. You and Georgia had your own home, and your sister even ended up selling houses herself. Georgia, never the opportunist. Or Georgia always knows a good deal when she sees one. What should we go with, chat? Georgia ever the opportunist? Or Georgia always knows a good deal when she sees one? Georgia, never the opportunist. Don't be like that. Your sister's just like your daddy. Success for her is success for the family. I guess you're right. Georgia's always been something else, though. Maybe it's because she was old enough to remember back when your parents lived in public housing. But she was near righteous about making sure she and Alma were better off. Remember when she wanted to sell that house next door? She only gave up on selling after Alma talked some sense into it. Decided that it was about time someone else got the opportunity she got. That the pie was big enough for her family to have plenty and share, too. Glad she did, because the Toffigs are good people and good neighbors. Always helping out, with a smile, too. That Zizi sure grew up to be beautiful. I bet she's off at camp for summer, last I talked to her mom. I wonder, is it space camp? It's a messy story, I know. It wasn't always clear to us what was right, but it got us all here. We struggled for our place, and put down roots for y'all to grow from. Grandma, I appreciate the history, but why does it matter how long we've been here if we can't stay here because it's falling apart? Dot, you've been quiet. Don't you have something to say about all this? After all, it's your house we're talking about. My house? What do you mean, my house? Child, who do you think was going to get this house after I'm gone? I figured Dad would get it, or even Georgia since she's the oldest, and a real estate whiz. You know your dad couldn't stand these Michigan winters again. George has asked about it once before. Lord knows she's been dreaming for years about what she could do with the property. But I want to give this house to someone who calls it a home. Grandma, I don't know what to say. I never imagined. Well, start imagining. After hearing all this from you. Oh, the ultimate decision of the game, I'm assuming. Sell the house or stay in the house? Do we sell the house or do we stay in the house? I've thought about it, and I can see how hard everyone worked to get us here. At the same time, doesn't it always seem like we're constantly on the edge of achieving our dreams? Everything we want is always out of reach. And with this neighborhood changing and the city ignoring the neighborhood's problems, it's only going to get harder. That's why we should stay. If we don't fight for the neighborhood we love, then who will? Selling this place means leaving it for people who see our neighborhoods as collections of profit, not people. The house might need some work, but keeping a home and community going will always take work. It's worth it. If that's your decision, then I respect it. It's about time I handed the keys to the next generation. Do you remember the door in the basement? I keep what's important in there. Inside that room is a lockbox containing the deed to the house. It's yours now. I told you this place was always going to be yours. You'll need this. Wow, the deed to the house. I wonder what the future has in store. Today's the big potluck over at the Interfaith Community Center. And of course, Alma's leading the charge. I know I'm not in the neighborhood as much these days, but geez, I'm always put to work as soon as I'm back. It's just, we really wanted a place that was ours, you know? Grandma may have given me the keys, but I'll always see that house as hers. So I moved out to the suburbs and got a place of my own. It's close to work, and we're trying to start a family, too. I guess in some strange way, I'm continuing my family's legacy of making homes of our own. Though sometimes, I worry if I made the right choice. I hate that Grandma lives up in that house alone. These days, I'm teaching at the charter school, preparing the next generation for greatness. It's a nice job. Charter school with plenty of resources. The kids are well behaved. Too behaved, honestly. Guess I'm used to classrooms where kids are allowed to be kids. Speaking of kids, I haven't seen that nephew of mine in a long time. Carlos barely comes to visit Grandma. That new non-profit architecture job has him working day and night. Not that he minds. residents. He's constantly saying what they're doing is big, making housing affordable for tons of people. Wish he'd put that much enthusiasm into this neighborhood, though. Still, I miss him. Well, chat, that is Dot's Home. A little indie darling, free on Steam. Seems like it has 3 different endings, I would assume, because we got the neutral ending this time around. So I'm assuming there's a bad, good, and neutral. Maybe I'll play through it again on another stream. As always, on this stream, we respect the people that create the games that we love, so we're gonna let these credits play on through. Like I said, it's free over on Steam if you are interested. Costs you nothing, but gives them another person that adds it to their library. I would appreciate if you guys want to pick it up, and don't go anywhere. We're going to go ahead and find somebody to raid at the end of all this. Once these credits are done rolling, we'll go ahead and discuss the game for just a brief minute, and then we'll find somebody to raid. I appreciate y'all all hanging out with me. Winner of the 2020 Unity of Humanity Grant, a selected project for the 2020 Game Developers of Color Expo, a 2021 Indiecade nominee. Certainly deserves all the accolades it got.